Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Dinosaur Island. Let's begin. Here in the desert, we see two large carnivores. This is only a slice of the desert. It is not as hot as the dry lands because it is just a little dry. And this place has water. It's just rained, so this is why the creek is here. The female starts drinking. These are the same Rexes from last episode. Me thinking, oh, where did the baby T-Rex go? He is actually at the nest. And he is fighting off a baby Protops, which is not going to injure him at all. Then the male sees something. He sees that the desert is longer. And he wants to explore, but the female does not want him to. The female has a big gash on her neck because last episode they got caught in a fight with a Spinosaurus for food. And now she has a big gash. The male was unharmed. Because that is good, because then the female can rest up instead of the male, because the male is way more powerful than the female. But they will explore since, heck, this is their territory. The nest is not too far from here. They do live in this desert. They start venturing out. Right now it's about 100 degrees outside here on the island in this desert. The other desert, which is about 5 miles away, is actually way hotter. But then they hear roars from their son. The female rushes to the scene. When the female arrives at her nest, she sees this horrible horror. The Dilophosaurus has pushed over her baby and is about to go for a killer move. She's going to risk her bad injury for her son. The Dilophosaurus thought he could get a kill. He rushes off, knowing that he cannot kill this. He knows he cannot kill an adult Tyrannosaurus. She's not full-grown yet, but she will be soon. She rests over to see if her baby's okay. He's fine. He's just been tipped over. He almost broke his back because of that. She knows she cannot let this happen again. She communicates with the male, telling him to not come back until he's done exploring. Male's just gotten the call, and he is excited. It is now the dry season, and things are going to get very hot. So they might have to move to the plains to keep cool for a while. But the desert isn't going to get that hot because Tyrannosaurs can survive 120% heat. And the drylands right now is actually 350 degrees. Now they cannot stand that. They cannot stay there for a while in the drylands. The desert is a dry place, but not as dry as the drylands. It's been a week and the father has not returned. The female's getting very worried, and the Dilophosaurus is still hanging out over here. That's just because his nest is over here. She does not want to look for him because she knows if there was any trouble, he would come back. So she's still going to wait for a week or two. If he doesn't come back, then she's going to look for her with her son. He's not seen water for a week, and he is thirsty. He's traveled so far. He is now lost. He's looking around to see if there's any landmarks he's noticed. All there is rocks, and more rocks. But then he sees a landmark that is quite familiar. The river. He knows he must be close. A little less further and he will make it to his nest. But something stands in his way. This predator is big. Is big as him. This is a Dinosaur. Almost the same size as a Rex. And he is lost too. But he's going to mark this as territory. He has not smelt Rex territory yet, so he is going to try and make it his. The Rex tries to threaten him off, but is not working. And the Dinosaur attacks. The female hears the male's cries of pain. She rushes over. She knows exactly where he is. The son too wants to help and follows. Meanwhile, he's still trying to kill him, but then he's trying to make it that is his territory. Then they have arrived. And Dinosaur still wants to kill the male. But then he sees the baby. And he rushes over. Making a wound into his chest. About to rip his heart out. But then he knows that this is a terrible fight. But then he collapses because he hasn't had water. They leave him for dead. They will rejoice when they get back to the nest. The one thing he wants to do with them, scrape his leg. Then he leaves. At the nest, the Dilophosaurus is planning to sabotage the nest. Then he hears them coming, and he rushes away, going into the plains to find another area to nest. When they come back to the nest, female tells the male Rex great news. She is going to give birth or lay eggs. She gets into position. She's just finished. No pain, which is good. Knowing that there's a new generation on the way, she roars in victory. And the rest of the pack roars with her. Months later. It's been 2 months since the Dinosaurus collapsed. And he's not alive. He is dead. Now he may look alive, but he is dead. He collapsed over water and food. And a dinosaur that tried to kill him long ago starved right next to him. That was a Utah raptor. Now it's just these two. Death. But let's look back at the T-Rex nest. They're not here right now. They are actually hunting because she knows that food is going to help the eggs, but she does not know that they are going to hatch, or when, I should say. Two babies have just hatched. And a dinosaur is coming over because they hear the cries of them. The Dilophosaurus is back, ready to eat the eggs. But then the male comes in. He was going to eat the eggs that are left and offspring. They all rejoice around the nest happily because now they have 2 members. But something bad has been happening to their food. Either they're gonna have food small as horses or big as sauropods. There's very little though of dinosaurs in the middle range, such as Triceratops or Spinosaurus, because they usually hunt down the Spinosaurus. Thank you for watching today's episode, Dinosaur Island.